Good morning, adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. I'm just going through my morning routine and baby wiping my face. This wakes me up just a little bit, but also gets rid of any skincare that I have on from the night before. Helps me keep my skin a little bit more even as I travel from one climate to the next climate, one altitude to the next altitude, all of which can do weird things to your skin. And so this is just how I start my day. And then after that, I'm going to figure out the rhyme and reason inside my van since I've changed some things up, and then hit the road off to some adventures. I'm so excited. Now in Colorado, I had several things that I wanted to do. Some I've been to before, some I have not. The things that I've been to before, I haven't been to in a long time, and I want to go back so I can give you guys a better video, basically. A lot of times whenever I had been to something early in my channel, when I didn't know kind of what I was doing as much, the videos are great for what they are, but they're not as good as I can do, and they deserve better. So I'm going to do one of those videos today. So if you watched my channel super early, you may have seen this place. Otherwise, it's magical and it's going to be so fun. I'm very excited about it, but I'm going to finish this up and then I'll get to the front and we'll get going. I went ahead and put my other refrigerator back there. It's already set to freezing. It's doing really well. Both of these are super well insulated. This is actually helping with the insulation on the top, which is interesting. I'm noticing that it feels like it's trapping the cool, so it's keeping it in like this cool sleeve. I never thought that that would be something, but it definitely is working. So I'm gonna grab some thing for breakfast. This should work. Right out the gate. Ooh, there we go. Last but not least, time to take down this and fold it up. Of course, before I can go, I gotta figure out what sunglasses I'm wearing, so this will take a minute. On this trip, I brought less sunglasses than I normally do, but I brought ones that I really like, so I kind of matched them to the outfits that I have. I normally like to have different kinds for different kinds of sun, and also for different styles of clothes. So I usually take the sunglasses that I'm wearing and I put them on and put the pair I wore yesterday in the case, and that way everything's always cased up all the time, keeping it safe longer. It's getting warm here today. It's already 77 degrees in the van, and so I'm going to turn some air on, get some airflow moving, and I've got to go get some gas. And then I think that my destination is like an hour and 15 minutes up the road. I'm not sure yet, but starting off with fuel, that way if there's not any nearby, I'm not stressing, because I'm going to be going after that through some more remote areas in Colorado where there's not going to be a lot of towns, and I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm like, oh no. Okay, here we go. Gas is definitely more expensive in Colorado already. It's $3.29 here, so I'm sure that my gas bill is only going to continue to go up as I travel, so it's fine. No more Texas, Oklahoma pricing. No more. Okay, $23.34. $23.34 for gas. Gas is more expensive, but that's okay because I had a little bit more gas in the tank, so it didn't feel painful. But now I'm going to set up my map and then hit the road. Definitely a little warm today. I am a little pink in the face, so it's not as like warm as Texas where it's like super humidity, but it does have a little bit of humidity. I'm kind of surprised. Normally this area is not quite this humid. Back to the world of roof boxes. This makes me so happy. Now, whenever I'm in Texas, it's easier to find my van because no one hardly has a roof box. So whenever I leave places like Walmart or like Sam's Club or Aldi, I can look out the parking lot, there's my van, it's clearly taller than the rest, it's fine. But I am now up here in the world of people who get me, who like outdoor recreation, and I know that's just such a silly thing to say, but oh, it brings me joy to see my people. Okay, I pulled over just before I start to go toward the mountains because I currently have 5G. Everything's good. I wanted to go ahead and download my offline map for the area that I'm going into just in case, because I'm not sure what cell service is going to be. So I pulled off in Colorado City, kind of, buy some storage units. This was a good place, and overall, the drive today has been beautiful, and I see something on the top of the mountains that is amazing. You see that up there? Snow! There's snow on the top of the mountains still. It is not a ton, but there is snow. That made me just so joyous this morning. It's just, That just brings me happiness. And this is the front range, not the further over range, which we're going to be going toward, which I'm pretty sure is going to have more snow. So I'm going to get closer, but I have a destination in mind, and I picked my song of the day. And every day I pick a song that just kind of inspires me or says something about where I'm going. And today I picked Billie Eilish, You Should See Me in a Crown, which if you're not familiar with that song, it's not going to be for everybody, but the crown portion is what the hint is for my little adventures today. And again, I'm going to keep this one pretty close to me, but you'll see it on the very next upload, and I think you'll love it. Everything is so beautiful and green here, and there's flowers everywhere along the roadsides. It's so gorgeous. Well, in the weird world of travel, this is something I didn't expect. We are on a road that is marked for 45 miles an hour, and this big guy is up here. And he's going 25. And my turnoff isn't for another 14 miles, and there's no way I can go around him because this entire section is all no passing. You know, you gotta have dedication to go to some of these places sometime. That's the best way to put it. Like, I am committed to going. What a beautiful drive up, but I finally made it to my location, and it's pretty crowded here. Now again, I've been here before. Last time I was here was also crowded. This time I'm here on a weekend, so I expected it to be crowded, but oh, this is gonna be a good stretch. Watch tomorrow's video, that's all I can say. Okay, I just finished up at the attraction. It is a free attraction, but they do take donations, and I bought a patch. So I ended up spending about $8 here. So $8 on the day. And wow, what an experience. Touched everything I need to sanitize my hands, so I got these. They should do the trick. Oh, that was pretty incredible, but there's a lot more to our day to go, and I think I have some ideas. I also think I'm gonna go ahead and set something out for my dinner tonight so I can cook. Ooh, these expanded a little bit. I didn't think they would. Altitude, it is what it is, but I'm gonna go ahead and do this, throw away my trash accordingly, and then figure out what I'm gonna get out for cooking tonight so it can thaw. Now that I have the freezer, I have the ability to use those things. So should be kind of interesting. I am gonna take a different route than I've taken in the past, so I'm not exactly sure what's gonna be along this route. I like to play it by ear. I think I have to go that way. Definitely that way. So inside my freezer, I have a pork tenderloin, which I'm going to cook in my Road Pro, but that's going to be on an upcoming trip. I already have plans for that. I have some French fries that I just needed to use, and then I have these incredible Just Meats. I had some really interesting things that came in my Just Meats order, so I'm going to probably pull out either the teriyaki or the sweet and spicy, because I think I want to make something that is Asian inspired this evening. So let's do Hawaiian beef teriyaki. Now my goal for thawing is going to be to put it in this grocery bag so it'll keep it all kind of contained. So I'm going to put this in the floorboard on my little mat so nothing gets onto my carpet, and I'm testing out different things to see if this works. If it does, cool. If not, I'm going to free up some room in my refrigerator before the next one. There it is. It's good to go, and I can hit the road. You know, normal days, they're kind of weird. They're just like regular days for everybody else. They just involve a van as opposed to a house. And so you got to plan things sometimes. And so I think this is going to work. I think. We'll see. We'll see. It did it again. It did it again. I don't have it too full. It didn't get as much on me because I caught it, but definitely spilled. Going battle with water bottles in altitude. It just is what it is. I'm filling it below the max fill so that it can expand as I get higher and higher in altitude, but even filling it below, it's still pressurizing it where it just like shoots out. So I guess I'm going to have to only open that thing if I have the door open. Oh well, it is what it is. Okay, we took a turn at 96 and now we're about to enter the San Isabel again. We left it, we're going back into it. It's just kind of how it is. It is. But we're going toward Pueblo and Wetmore in this direction. So my goal is to go in this direction and then actually get to Cannon City. And in Cannon City, I'm going to take a turn from there and, well, on to our next adventures. But wow, let's take a moment to enjoy the views. Oh, it's so beautiful. I don't know what it is, but there's something about these mountains that just brings me to life. And the more that I get out and about and look at these beautiful spaces and take different routes and see all the different trees, including the aspens that have all their leaves right now, the more that I just smile and feel at peace. And there's something to be said about just feeling at peace in a space. And I don't know what exactly it is about it, but every time I come here, it's just something special. It's something magical to me. I don't know. And maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me and I like mountains and that's it. But there's something really incredible about nature. And if you take the time to just like take it in and not just drive through it by pulling off on all these little roadside stops, you can see all sorts of beautiful things. And that's what I really love. So, Permagran. We pulled into Wetmore and I saw a sign, and I like to stop at signs because signs are awesome and we learn things about communities. And so I thought, good sign, good sign. Cool, we love this. Here we learn all the cool things that you can do and all the interesting information here about Wetmore, including that this is an area, Custer County, that has approximately 275 different bird species. I really love the historic photos. This is really nice. And this sign was put here by the Colorado Department of Transportation. It's pretty cool. On my way here, I passed a wildlife viewing area, but all of the signs were gone. And so I was kind of sad. So I decided not to stop and instead decided to push on. And now I'm glad that I did, because all of the information on what kind of animals that you can find in this region is right here in Wetmore. So that's pretty cool. Now it does look like this promotes several of the hiking trails and says that there's several in this region that are even easier trails. So that's cool to note. Something that I've noticed along the way, lots of people like to do bike riding in this area, so cycling. And you can pedal in peaks up to 13,000 feet of elevation. That's really high up there, guys. That's some strong leg muscles. These two signs focus more on the geological impact of this area and then also the history, which I think is the best part. Starting off with the geology, you can find that there were Precambrian bedrocks that make up the bulk of the wet mountains, and it's fractured and weathered away. And it shows you kind of what you can see along the roadways, including exposures of Pierre Shell and Jackson Hill. Even come over here and find out what the giant gashes in the mountains are. This is cool. This is very cool. Get to the history, we learn about how this land was considered to be pretty hard to deal with. It was filled with hostiles and outlaws, and the land itself was not suited for traditional farming, and so it made it a lot harder for them to be able to do the basic things just to survive in this area. Now here's the interesting thing though. If you were willing to stick it out and deal with all of the elements, they would give you 160 acres to deal with and make your own. And so a lot of people came here to try to make it work. Some of them were successful, others not so much. But it led to the last topic that's on this board, which is strong women. On this sign, you can see some of the strong women of this region. And it mentions that although this region was described as not a churchy place, the Ladies' Aid Society of Wetmore built a community church, and they got tired of cleaning up the spittoons and cigars of the Woodmen of the World Hall. So they built a church so that they could congregate there. And that was the New Hope Church right here. This is the second oldest Baptist church in the state of Colorado. It was built in 1873. This is that Society of Ladies right here, the Ladies' Aid Society. This is the 1914 group, and this was a photo from the Genealogical and Historical Society. As you can imagine, it was rugged, it was rough. There were people out here who were outlaws. There were also indigenous people to the area. And because of that, there were a lot of very not so nice, pleasant moments. So these women had to be the backbone of the community and are the reason that they have many things even still to this day. So I appreciate that that sign is there. And I thought that was a really cool way to finish off our little stop here. There's a lot more to see on our trip today. And again, read the signs. It's absolutely free and you get to go so much more about the area. Now I know more about the animals. I know more about what I'm looking at as I'm driving down the road. And I know about some strong, determined women who cleaned up this joint just a little bit. We always love that. And today I'm wearing my Powerful Woman shirt because let's face it, ladies, we are powerful, we are strong, and we are the only ones who limit ourselves a lot of times. With that said, time to get back on the road. We're on a history kick just beyond Wetmore. There's another stop, and this one is awesome. This one is super awesome. We are, and we have a beautiful view at this one. It says here that much of the area's early history occurred on nearby trading posts and settlements. Most of these places no longer are in existence, but there was a post that was built about 1 mile west by Maurice Leduc in the 1830s, and the village of Hardscrabble was established in the 1840s. And the traders and the trappers would come from below the fork of Hardscrabble and Adobe Creeks. Now, at the time, there were two specific tribes. There were the Ute and the Arapaho. And there were lots of incidents that happened as a result of those two tribes and settlers coming into this area together. And so it's kind of interesting to see how the trading post would have been a place that these people would have been located at, but at the same time would have come under attack the most. Now we learn here also that like so many other places, when the railroad came in, it helped move goods and services much more efficiently. And so a lot of these places that were not along the railroad routes faded away. And so that's kind of what happened with the Hardscrabble community. Another one bites the dust. It was nearly completely and totally deserted, and now you just see fields upon fields in this little mountain like valley area. It's beautiful out here, but I can definitely see how the railroad, which passed through neighboring Cannon City, not that far away, kind of just circumvented most of these areas because it became very, very efficient to move things in that community, and that community popped up and thrived. So that's the story of Hardscrabble. Back on the road we go. Okay, I stopped off in Cannon City literally because I saw this the last time I was here, but I didn't get to stop. And so today we're stopping. This is so fun. This is so delightful. And I think there's a map as to where the rest of these are, which I may have to come back and do. I'm trying to get to another place today, but it does have a map. Okay, so this is the Dino Art map, and you can see there's different ones. Altogether, there's 21 here in Cannon City, and they have them all marked on this little map. And the map is not to scale, obviously, because this guy that I'm about to show you, wow. Look at how cute he is. Oh, he's so cute. This is so fun. Clearly this dino has a lot of science stuff on it, including all sorts of cool things, but it has a QR code also, which I think is really awesome. Look at this. Oh, and then he's just right here saying, hi everybody, hi, hi, hi. Once again, just goes to prove there's all sorts of free things out there that you can do. That could be a half a day just going around town and seeing things. And then the cool thing about it is they're all located in places that have other things. So for example, this one right here is right across from the Veterans Park and just a very short, like walking distance from the river park. And the river park is gorgeous. I would go over there today, but it's a weekend. There's lots of people out there with their kiddos. And I don't like to film and make people uncomfortable. So we're just gonna pass on that one. Which is another reason why I'm not sticking around here, because the things that I want to do here, they're all going to be packed out today. Oh, Cannon City, I've got something else to do now. I got to add it to my list. There's also the old prison museum I'm going to come back for. Again, I'm going to be back in this area. I have way too many things to just bypass it. So I just have to figure out when that's going to be. Not on a weekend. Certainly not on a weekend. Oh, I see the snow on the mountains. It's beautiful. Oh, this is amazing. This is exactly what I needed. Okay, I made it to the gas station. It's 3:69 here. We're in Buena Vista. Okay, so my food is still pretty frozen. Okay, that's interesting. Gassing up with a view. Wow. I'm really excited. I am going to stop off at a store real quick just to pick up a few little small things that I can eat as like snacks, since that is not defrosted enough to cook yet. And maybe by dinner time it'll be able to be cooked. But for now, I haven't eaten lunch. I'm starving, and I was kind of hoping that I'd get over here for a late lunch and be able to just cook it. But since I can't, I'm just gonna go by the store. It's fine. I need a few things anyway that I didn't pick up at the grocery shop that I went to. So it's time to go find the store. Okay, I got everything. I got some things to make the little pizzas with. I just didn't have toppings. So I have that if worse comes to worse, and I need something to eat because my meat hasn't defrosted. I also picked up a few little munchy things that I can just have around camp to eat with a variety of different things. And I don't quite have enough room for what I got in my refrigerator because my refrigerator is pretty packed. So I pulled out some cheese, and I'm gonna have some cheese. Okay, I made it, and now I just have to get comfortable. This is not the perfect place for me. I'm actually in a space way too big for what I am, but it is a weekend, so a lot of the smaller spots that I normally would occupy are taken, and I have really good cell service here, so I want to stay where I have cell service because I'm going to do some research on a few of the mountain passes because there's a lot of snow up there, and I don't want to be going up there if the mountain passes are going to be like hard, difficult, impossible, you know, all the things. So this is a good place, and I do have a pretty good view of the mountain from here. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Since it is the weekend, I figure that tomorrow what I can do is, if people start to clear out, I can kind of look around and see if there's a spot that is more suited for my size. But for now, I'm good to go. So I'm gonna get everything set up in the van and put my window things up, and today's been fun. I ended up spending about, like I said, $20, just under $20 at the grocery store. I got gas a couple times, and today I drove to the location that I wanted to be so I can sit here for a few days. So I won't be getting gas over the next few days, and I'm actually in pretty good shape when I do go on my next adventure, and I've scouted out a location that's not too far from here. So I am very, very happy. Again, it doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg to go and do something epic. And I encourage you guys to find things that are near you that are more affordable, or find free attractions like I have. And along the way, you can do all sorts of cool stuff and learn from the signs on the roadways and just enjoy travel. Travel's here for us all. Don't forget that. My dinner's still super frozen. And with that said, guys, remember, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time. I'm going to get everything set up in my van, and I'm just going to relax for the rest of the afternoon and just soak it all in. Big things are coming, and I am very excited to share them with you. So keep on watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!